Hi, fellow PolyTrippers. I hope you had a productive week, and here's my motivational talk for this coming week. This week, I'm going to say something that counters the whole reason for the existence of our company, PolyTripper. PolyTripper was built in order for you to be able to learn a language in a country where you're not necessarily learning, which doesn't necessarily speak the language that you want to learn. For example, if I'm here in the United States and I want to learn French, I can use PolyTripper to achieve a good level of French even while living in the United States. A case in point is Russian. I started Russian in summer of 2020 alongside of you students because I wanted to be in the trenches with you. I wanted to be learning alongside of you. I wanted to struggle the way that you're struggling, and I already know like a number of languages that you're studying right now, but I wanted to learn a very difficult one, Russian, so that basically I could be challenged in the same way that you are being challenged, and basically struggle and learn alongside with you and be in this together. So that's why I started learning Russian primarily. There were other reasons too, but that's primarily the reason that I started to learn it. And now I can basically have unstructured conversations of unbounded length, and I can express myself. And I've never been to a Russian-speaking country, so I know exactly what to do. I'm privileged and very lucky to know exactly what to do in order to be able to learn a language while living here in the United States, for example. And this week I want to say that something that's kind of counter to that, which is basically acknowledging that living in the country, I mean, granted, there are a lot of people who live in the country. I know Mexicans who live here who hardly speak a word of English. I know my Russian teacher tells me that a lot of her Russian-speaking students who are learning English are based in the United States, and their English isn't that great. And so it's very possible to live in the country and not learn the language. But the flip side of that is that if you really want to take your language learning to the next level, you might have to go live in the country in order to achieve that. I think there are limits to what can be achieved by living in the country and learning the language. Those limits are very high. And I speak a number of languages like Swedish and Russian, and I'm trying to think of another language where I've never been to that country. Yes, Swedish and Russian are the two languages I speak where I've never been to that country. And I speak them pretty decently. Decently meaning that I can get my point across, and I can say stuff and be understood. It's not great, but it's actually pretty impressive, I think, for never having set foot in those countries at all. And so basically, I'm just acknowledging that. You might want to consider having some kind of experience. Basically, I've structured a lot of my language learning experiences around having as a reward going and spending some time in that country. With Italy, for example, I went there for the first time in November of 2017, and my first goal there was to take a week-long language course in Genoa, where I was going to an Italian language school. I actually got like a one-on-one teacher there, and then I palled around with my Italian teacher and her boyfriend after that. But yeah, like every time I've gone to the country, like a Spanish-speaking country, or having lived in Spain, or having lived in the Netherlands, or having traveled extensively in Germany, staying with friends and stuff like that, my language level has jumped in a way that was much more dramatic than a lot of online language instruction. Okay, so I'm just acknowledging that because I want to just stay honest. But on the other hand, online language instruction plus self-study, when you don't have the ability to travel like that, is the next best thing. And it's really quite impressive what you can achieve, even though living in the country is probably the best way to learn the language. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you this week. Check out our resources page at polytripper.com, where we have a number of games and resources to take your language learning to the next level. And also join us for our Saturday Facebook Lives at facebook.com/polytripper, where language learners can come together and feel less alone in their language learning journey. And finally, if you like us, be sure to spread the word, because we don't have the deep advertising pockets our competitors do. So we rely on good souls like you to spread the word so that we can decrease our advertising costs, take less in commissions from our teachers, and let them keep more of their money. So thanks again for playing your part, and I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.